Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I thought I would just share my process about how I color certain clothing items. I have gotten requests over the years to show my process regarding that. And if you watch my videos or you're a fan of the channel, you know I've colored numerous clothing pieces, or at least I feel like I have, and then I may not have. But I'm just going to show you how I color certain clothing items today. And I'm going to be coloring in Paris Street Style by Zoe de las Casas, or Cases. I'm not sure how you pronounce that, but here is what the book looks like. I don't know where you get this from because I got mine from TJ Maxx years ago, and then that's the ISBN if you want to maybe screenshot that or pause it so that you can get that and those numbers if you want to have this book. And I know it's Paris, not a Paris one, duh, it's a New York one or something, and like maybe a Japan one or something, I don't know, but it's a couple versions of this book. And I'm just going to go ahead and continue using this page here that has the outfits on it, and I already colored this lady a while back for a review when I was asked to do a review for the Magic Fly pencils. So I think I'm going to start with this lady here and her sweatpants. And I don't think I've ever colored sweatpants in general, or like, you know, some kind of loose pants. So I thought that would be fun because I want to color things that I maybe not have colored before. And of course I'm going to use my Prismacolor, and I'm choosing to use my Prismacolor because I feel like they work really well on this paper. And then also most people have access to these, and if not, you can just pick out any kind of dark gray, a medium gray, and a light gray, and whatever pencils that you're using if you want to make them gray. Or all you need is a dark, a mid-tone, and a light when you are doing your shading. So I'm going to use 70% cool gray for my darkest color. Then I'm going to use 50% cool gray as my mid-tone, and then 30% cool gray as my lightest color. And hopefully it's focusing. I don't know. Hopefully you can see what colors they all are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my 30% cool gray, and I'm going to just base my sweatpants. So let me zoom in a bit, and hopefully it'll focus itself because I'm having issues with my camera focusing, and I have no clue why, because it takes amazing pictures of the moon and everything else, but lately here we've been having some difficulties. So anywho, like I said, I'm going to start and base these with this 30% cool gray. So I'm going to use a light hand because this paper is okay. I have colored with Prismacolor in the past in this book, and it's worked pretty great. So I just decided to go ahead and stick with that, because if it ain't broke, don't fix it and all. So I'm going to go ahead and do that because I don't want to use a different pencil and struggle because I don't know how it'll like this paper. And like I said, I've gotten requests through the years that I've had my channel, 4 or 5 years now. I don't know. I know I started my channel November 2017, I want to say. I think October, November, around there. So since then, I know I've colored a bunch of things on my channel, but I haven't done a straight clothing video dedicated to how I do that. So like I said, I think it'll be fun because I'll just color some different items and just show you how I approach these things. And I'm very flattered that I've gotten requests about how I color clothing, because I don't think it's that special. Like, it's nothing all that great, but you know, sometimes other people see what you don't see. So here is 70% cool gray that I'm going to come in with, and I'm going to go ahead and use it for my darkest color. So what I like to do with clothing, and as you can see on this one, I pretty much follow the lines that the artist draws, and that really is helpful because, you know, they put it there for a reason so that you can see. Sorry, I'm scratching my nose. So you can see like the way a fabric is supposed to move or be shaded or whatever, if that's making sense. And a lot of the time I add a lot of my own little folds and whatnot that I want to add. And what really helped me too was I used to look at videos about drawing clothing or clothing illustrations, because I'll get to that in a minute. Let me start on the pants. So like I said, I'm going to take my dark gray. So what I'm going to do is this little fold, I'm just going to follow that the artist drew. I'm going to bring it down a little bit because I just want to do that. And then I'll end up making this bit darker. But like I said, I used to watch clothing illustration videos just to see how people, it's not necessarily artists, but just other people approach clothing, and that really helped me. And also I did have fashion merchandising as a course that I took in college before I dropped out. And I learned a little bit about certain things. Mostly it was retail learning. It was never drawing or anything, because I would have loved that if I was to make it that far. But yeah, I really think I would have enjoyed that process. But watching other people explain it's just as helpful. And learning that when you draw clothing, they mostly are drawn in V's and hooks, and meaning V shapes and hook shapes. So that's usually where you put shading, if that's making any sense, because it's showing how a fabric moves and where the certain folds and wrinkles are, and that's usually where you put your shading. So like I said, it's usually helpful to follow what the artist has drawn, but you can always add whatever you want within the clothing. So I'm just shading right under the sweater here and making it dark, and then I'm going to bring my lines down a little bit, just flicking, because that's what I think I want to do for that part. Let me zoom in a little bit more. Okay, so hopefully that's good for y'all. And here where the pants touch, of course it would be a shadow here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that and just lightly bring my color out toward the middle leg. Sorry if my voice sounds croaky. I don't know what's going on. It's croaky and a bit hoarse, and I'm not getting sick or anything, but apologies if my voice sounds a little weird. I don't know why that is. So here I'm just going to follow this fold that they've drawn here, and I'm not bearing down really hard. One, because this paper isn't all that great for layering, and then also I want to add my mid-tone, and I don't want to have my darkest color so far out into this garment here. So right where it gathers or pools, or however you want to say it, at the leg, I'm making that darker, as you can see. And so here at the knee, they have a little knee thing drawn right here. So what I'm going to do is connect this here like so, kind of like in a little triangle, if you can see that. And I just want that to be darker, and then I'm going to go ahead and hook it around and make this darker, because obviously they want this to be a shadow right under the knee. So these are some kind of loose pants, but they've got a little structure to them still. They aren't completely baggy, saggy, maggy. So we'll just go ahead and do the shadow like so. And then I want to put a little shadow here right on this part of the outside, and then bring the color in a little bit. So this is essentially what I would be doing anyway if I was coloring these by myself. And I've been looking through this book because I was like, ooh, first of all, this book is perfect. I have another book called The Look that I need to work into, because I neglect that book. But this was one of the first coloring books, technically, along with Fabiana, that got me back into coloring. But really it was Fabiana, so that's why I don't count this one. But I got this book because I loved the clothing. Like, I really like to color clothes and stuff. And then this book was just so cute. And I liked how, like, kind of fancy. It looked like a fancy adult coloring book because it's black and gold. And it has the little, what do you call this thing? It has the satin bookmark. Oh my gosh, it's right here. And then it has, like, the little wraparound strap thing that I thought was really cool. And I've not seen that before. So I was like, oh, this looks cool. So, yeah, I'm going to try to make sure I'm focused again. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and follow this line down here. Scoot my board over a little bit. Am I still in frame? Okay. And this is like the shadow of the pocket, so I'm definitely going to bring that out and then just go ahead and do that. But a good thing to note is if anything is laying on top of each other, it's going to have a shadow. So, like, it will be shadowed, in my mind, under where her sweatshirt is laying. And I'm by no means, obviously, y'all know, a professional or anything like that. This is just how I approach coloring clothing. And I could be completely wrong, but I just go with what I think will look good and what looks good to my eye. So, That's how I approach it. And that's how you should approach it too, because I think if you just go with what looks good to you, it takes kind of the stress away from trying to get everything so perfect. And you don't want to be stressed when you're coloring. It's supposed to be a relaxing experience, so yeah. So I'm going to do that, and then here at the leg I want this to be darker, and I'm just going to bring the shadow down here. And again, this is still my 70% cool gray, so I have not switched pencils yet. Because what I like to do generally is go in with my lightest color, and then I go in with my darkest color. And I've been doing that for quite a while. And I think that's how I learned, really. I don't know. I do all types of stuff, and I've done like different ways to do things throughout the years that I've been coloring, and it's so fun because it's all just a learning process, and you can always just add to what you already know, and then that's how you build your skill set. So I'm going to go ahead and make this dark, especially because, you know, it's a little fold here, and I'm just following naturally how the curve is drawn. And then since this has kind of like, it's curving in a little bit, I think this will be darker. So I'm just going to go ahead and go with that for this bit. And I'm going to make this darker here. So yeah, I definitely take requests on what videos you would like to see. It really helps me out because I don't want to make videos that no one's watching. So if you have something that you like to see me color, I will try my best to be able to get that filmed or try to do it for you, because I definitely am lost in the sauce when it comes to what to do for my channel anymore, because I don't know what people want to see. And like I said, I don't want to spend time making a video, editing a video, and no one watches it. So you really have to engage with me, y'all, in the comments, or you could hit me up on my Instagram. Let me know what you want to see from me, and it will help me out so much, because like I said, I've been in the game a minute with my channel since 2017, and I don't know what is what anymore as far as showing coloring things is concerned, because my favorite kind of videos is showing my coloring book collection and showing my completed pages. But if I don't have any completed pages, or not very many to show you all the time, then my channel is basically blank. So yeah, I definitely am asking for a little help on that front. So as you can see, I was just bringing my darkest color down right here to make this little fold here, and then right where this part is for the out, well, more so inside her leg, I'm going to shadow that too. But I definitely want this bit shadowed because it's where the fabric kind of like, not gathers, but I don't know, is bunched up on your leg or something. I don't know what I'm trying to say. And so for the bottom, I think I just want to, and I want to make sure I'm still in focus. I think for the bottom, I just am going to go with, well, I'm going to go here and make this darker. And then I will go from the inside as well on this side and go lighter. And then just make this shadow, because the sweatpants has like a little shadow from the top to the bottom. I think that's what I'm thinking about. I don't know. I'm thinking as I'm going. Okay, so let me see. Let me make this a little darker and this a little darker. And maybe I want to bring this out. See, you can play around and see what you would like to add and try out, and it's all just an experiment, and a lot of the time it ends up looking good. So and I'm not saying my stuff looks good. I mean, I have things that go horribly awry all the time, trust me, but I mean, you know, you never know until you do it and see what it'll look like. So don't be scared, just try. Alright, I think this is looking pretty much how I want it to look. And now I'm going to come in with my mid-tone Yeah. So this is how it's looking, and honestly, it could really be left like that, and it could be kind of like a stylistic choice to do that. But I'm gonna come in with my 50% cool gray now, and this is my mid-tone color, and I'm just gonna smooth out the edges. But I still want my pants to have that highlight, so I'm not gonna take away too much of my light color. Like, I'm not gonna color over it too much, because I still want it to have that lightness to it. So I'm just going over, as you can see, all the areas where I put the darkest color and fading it out a little bit, or blending it out a little bit toward the middle. And I'm just going to do that for all of my parts that we put the dark color. So hopefully this isn't too boring, y'all. I don't know, but I would like to color some more clothing items in the future, since, like I said, I've had that request. And if you have a request, like if you want to see me color a handbag or a hat, or I don't know what we can do, but I asked the person most recently who asked me about clothing, and I was like, what do you want to see? And they never got back to me, so I just took it upon myself to go ahead and film this. And hopefully it's helpful. I don't know how many sweatpants are in coloring books. I don't know. Mostly, I would, you know what, if I think about it, it may just be mostly dresses. I think because, you know, we color a lot of, I don't know, we just color a lot of dresses, I guess. I know I have colored a bunch of dresses. I think I've colored more dresses than any other type of clothing item in my coloring books. Oh, like combined, when I think about it. Dresses and, yeah, mostly dresses. I was really trying to think. I've done a lot of denim, but that was a choice that I just did because I made things denim, and they may not necessarily have been, because I really like to color denim. So I think dresses and denim are like the top clothing items that I've colored in my coloring book so far. Oh, and in my like Asian coloring books, kimonos. I don't know if I would call it a kimono or a haori, because I'm not sure. I know haoris are like a Japanese cardigan, and I don't know, I get them confused sometimes. So something like that. I've colored a bunch of those, but yeah, I would say dresses take the crown. What have you colored the most in your coloring books as far as clothing is concerned? I would love to know. We can chat about it in comments. I think that'll be an interesting topic. So, like I said, just coming in with this color and making it known. In this book, I can't layer loads, so I'm really using a light hand, and that's what you want to do anyway. When you color, you want to use a light hand, because you can always add, but it's very difficult to take away. So you don't want to come in and be super heavy-handed, because then you won't be able to layer as much if you're a layerer like myself, because I love layering. So I don't know, it's just part of the process that I find it's actually really fun. Okay, so that's how they're looking here. And then, wait, did we go out of focus? Okay, no, I'm just making sure. Okay, so now I want to come in with my lightest color, which is the 30. And I think you could also come in with white too. Oh my gosh, y'all. I'm like melting right now. I don't know why, because it's not even that warm, but my nose is sweating, and I sweat primarily on my nose, which is so odd. And my nose is giving me the blues right now. So anyway, I'm coming in with my, what is this, 30% cool gray, right? And I'm just smoothing everything out. But I actually like the little bit of texture that the paper is giving me, because that's another thing too. I like when I can kind of see the texture or the tooth of the paper through my pencils when I'm coloring, especially denim. It so adds to the effect, and it just makes it look so amazing. So I kind of like when the paper is a little tough and I leave the little white specks, is what I mean by the tooth of the paper. It's not completely blended in, and it adds to the texture. So I don't know what kind of fabric I would imagine this to be made out of, but I would assume like cotton or polyester, right? that's another thing. When you think about your clothes, you want to think about like what it could possibly be made of. That way you could kind of get a feel for where you would put your color too. I think would be a little helpful, but I don't know. What do I know? So anyway, just blending this in. And I think these came out pretty cool. I've never colored sweatpants, y'all. This is my first time coloring sweatpants that I can like really remember. I think that's the case because like I said, I've not colored that many variations in my clothing. And this would be fun because then, like I said, I chose this book and I chose this page 1 because I already started on it. But I wanted to color something that I don't normally color. And this was really fun. I'm actually enjoying myself doing this. I actually have another page that I literally just based with marker before I started this video. And it's a Misfits page because I feel like I don't color in my Misfits pages enough. I mean, books enough. So I chose a Misfit page and hopefully I'll get that done soon. And I'm really waiting for my new book. I got the new Kanoko Agusa Coloring Heaven special because I could not miss out on that. And I bought the single because I'm not subscribed because I don't always like every book they come out with. So if it's a single that I like, I will buy it. And so far, I've only bought like 2. I bought the Kanoko one recently, and I bought the Mystic Armira's one when she had a Coloring Heaven special because both of those artists are 2 of my favorite. And like, if I'm able to get something from them, I definitely will support them. And I heard that Kanoko's going to turn her Coloring Heaven special into a book, but she doesn't know when. So I'm definitely going to get that book too when she does it because I just love her stuff so much. And like I said, I just want to support because we need art, man. We need it. I feel like it's just dissipating in the world sometimes. Even though I look every day and see that art is still alive. But I know like with this AI stuff and all that, I'm just so fearful of just our human brain and what we can conceive and what we can create because I think the human brain is just amazing when it comes to that type of stuff and creativity and ingenuity. And it's sad that like we're going the way of Terminator or some crap. I don't know. But anyway, I'm going off into something different. But as you saw, I just took my 30% gray and I went over my darkest areas, the mid color, and I'm bringing it into the lightest bits that we had here. And I'm just smoothing everything out. And these pants are pretty much done. So hopefully that's helpful if you want to color some sweatpants. And if you want to use grays, here you go. But if not, you could just need a dark, a mid, and a light. And you'll be on your way. Because sweatpants come in millions of colors. Probably not millions, but I mean, come on now. We live in the age of athleisure. And y'all know no one wears dresses up and wears, you know, get dressed to the nines like they do, like they did back in the day. So, you know, sweatpants are so versatile now. I think they even make dressy looking ones because I think I own a pair or 2. So they don't have to be your old gray sweats that, you know, from the 80s. I don't know. Because that's when I used to see sweatpants all the time, like in the 80s when I watched stuff. Anyway, what am I talking about, y'all? I don't know. So I think that's pretty much how I want this to look. Just want to start that off. So, oh my gosh, I hope I was in focus when I was coloring that. I'm just going to zoom out here. And then that's what they look like next to the blues. You could definitely see that they're gray, but not dark, like too dark. And I really like how they turned out. So hopefully this little sweatpants tutorial, like how I color, helps you out. I don't know, like I said, what else you would like to see me color as far as clothing is concerned. If you have any requests, you can leave it in the comment box below. And I wish everyone happy coloring. And I hope you're staying safe out there wherever you are in the world. Take care, and I'll see you in my next video.